Hi guys, welcome to Lit and Comp 2. Today we're going to be working on Keystone Prep Tone. So our desired result and our guiding question is how do readers determine author's tone in a text? And you'll be able to define tone and understand how to determine the tone of a passage or story and use descriptive words to describe tone. So when we think about a movie or a movie trailer, how do editors set the tone? Well, when they're making their trailers, they choose which scenes to include or not to include. They include music, filters to change the lighting. There's a use or absence of color. There's voices or voiceovers, dialogue, an amount of scenes included, and how long each scene lasts, or how characters are portrayed. Now, it's the same thing when setting the tone in a story or a passage. So it is no different when a writer tries to set a tone in a story or a book. They are trying to set a mood for the reader based on like their opinion or their style. So things that some writers will use when trying to get their tone across and which is their attitude towards the writing is word choice. So they will carefully pick what words they are going to use and their writing style. So what is the style that they're using? Is there a certain way that they speak? Are there certain words that they use? Is the style meant to be conversational or is it meant to be informal or more formal? By the details that the author tries to show. In the setting, the author can show tone just like in a movie or the trailer, and in the characters. So, what the characters do and how they speak and how they interact with one another. So, there's many ways that authors show tone when they are writing. So, for key learning in what is tone, you should listen to the reading voice in your head because tone is something you hear based on the author's word choice. There are tone words that can be categorized into four areas: positive, negative, thinking or feeling, and style of writing. You should be able to match specific words and phrases from the text to the tone identified by the test makers. Some of the questions on the Keystone exam will ask you to determine the tone of a passage. Another way to say that is that the tone is the attitude the author has toward a subject. Tone is similar to how someone's voice may sound. In fact, this is a good way for you to remember what tone means. It's how the author sounds. A note here to take is that sometimes test makers will use the term mood. Don't panic when answering these questions. Both tone and mood express feeling. Here's a bunch of words that can describe tone, and these are attached to our course page in our Keystone file. But we have aloof, which is distant or detached, contemplative, which is meditative, conversational, informal or friendly, bossy, controlling or pushy, morose, gloomy or depressed, objective, impartial, enthusiastic, which is excited, formal, which is proper or official, reflective, which shows deep thinking. These tones get moved into word categories. So, for example, a positive word would be joyful, a negative word would be hostile. Thinking about or feeling words would be reflective, and author's style of writing words would be something like formal or informal. So let's do a practice. Determine tone by answering the multiple choice questions for the sentences below. Once you've identified the tone, underline the words from the sentence to support your tone choice. Then use process of eliminations to answer choice to two answer choices. The first one we're going to do together. Example: the partygoers howled with laughter when the clown arrived on his donkey. So our choices are A, satirical, B, humorous, C, pleasant, and D, nostalgic. You should have eliminated A because it's a negative tone word and the feel of the sentence is not negative. D could be eliminated because nostalgia refers to sentimental memories. Once you've narrowed your choice to B and C, look at the words you underlined. Although both words are positive, the passage will guide you to the correct answer. The partygoers howled with laughter. Most closely fits humorous, which means funny. So the answer is B. We're going to use your knowledge of tone, context clues, word parts, and the process of elimination to answer the following questions. Frank sat in the waiting room, nervously tapping his foot as the nurses quickly ran into the operating room. So, what can help you understand this? The first thing I think of is that he was in a waiting room, so he's probably in a hospital. If he's nervously tapping his foot, he's definitely concerned about something. And if nurses are running into a room that is an operating room, there's probably a surgery going on. So I don't think that that would be a casual situation. There's nothing to tell me that this is resilient, so I would think somber and concerned would be my last two. However, nothing tells me that it's sad or somber. Everything kind of seems hectic and nervous. So the best answer here would be C, concerned. The real housewife of Orange County yelled at her nanny for not sterilizing the bottles properly. You idiot, she said. Don't you even know how to wash a bottle? Is this aloof, concerned, impersonal, or condescending? So the first thing I notice is it's a real housewife of Orange County. So I think back to the show, and they usually have a lot of money, and they're kind of paid for their drama. Since she shouted, "You idiot," to someone, it doesn't seem like she has a lot of respect for them. So I don't think she's aloof and not worried about something. I don't think it was impersonal because she kind of came at that person. So I'm thinking concerned and condescending, but condescending is probably the best word because she's saying that they're an idiot and that they don't know how to wash a bottle. You will complete the rest of these questions on your own in your activity. So your guiding question is, how do readers determine author's tone in a text? You will be able to define tone, understand how to determine the tone of a passage or story, and use descriptive words to describe tone.